Question from online. Initials AH from Blackburn, England. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh. I pray you are well and may Allah increase you in Iman and knowledge. I met you when you were in Birmingham, when you came to England last year, and asked you if I should travel for Hajj, even though I have a lot of problems when I travel. You advised me that I should try and go for Hajj. So I have taken your advice, and inshallah I will be traveling to Hajj this year with my wife. I want to know if I can take out travel insurance that will cover me if I am stopped by the authorities from traveling. The Hajj package is £12,500, and if I'm stopped from traveling, then it will be a huge financial loss for me.
طيب بسم الله الحمد لله اللهم اني استغفرك واتوب اليك. Alhamdulillah, I remember when we met, I believe it was in the Wisdom Center, if I'm not mistaken. We met, may Allah bless you. And may Allah make your affairs easy when you travel. And if it's not the will of Allah to make those affairs absolutely easy, because there's always ease. Even if you're stopped and held up and harassed and bothered, there's at the end of the day, there's always ease. As Allah Azza wa Jal, He mentioned in the Quran al-Kareem, one type of difficulty and two types of ease. Huh, Umar? Remember that? With hardship becomes as ease. Inna ma'al usri yusran. Huh? How is that? Allah mentioned in this surah how many words? Quote the ayah. I can't hear you. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Number 2. Huh? إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. So Allah Azza wa Jalla, He says what? Indeed, مَعَ الْعُسْرِ al-usr yusran. With the difficulty, literal translation is ease. And ease, not the ease, and ease. Inna ma'al usri, with the difficulty, is an ease. So the word usr is mentioned with an alif and a lam twice, and the word yusr is mentioned without an alif and a lam twice. And they say what? Len ha yaghlibu usrun yusraini. One difficulty will never beat what? One difficulty will never beat too easy. Yani mathematics, superiority of numbers. Everyone understand this? It's just not going to win. 2 versus 1. So, what does this mean? This is one of the styles of the Quran al-Kareem with regards to the balagha and the lugha al-Arabiya and the secrets of this wonderful, tremendous book in this masterful language. Allah mentioned difficulty definitely, and He mentioned ease indefinitely. So He mentioned usr ma'rifa, and He mentioned yusr nakira. So when something is nakira and it's repeated, it's mentioned more than once, then yadullu ala ta'addud. It proves that a thing is more than one. And when a verb or a noun is mentioned mu'arrafan with the ma'rifa in a definite sense twice, it proves that it's only what? One. So as if Allah says, with difficulty is an ease, with that difficulty is an additional ease. So no matter what you go through traveling, no matter what, Allah, inshallah, He's going to make it easy for you on one level or another. If they hold you up, this will go smooth. No, I never made a dua. There wasn't a dua. Right. Yeah, asking Allah for something is different. Right. Oh, Allah, forgive me if you will. Allah, forgive us, inshallah. That's different. I'm saying that inshallah, if Allah wills, He will do it for you. And many brothers, they say that when they make dua. Right. Clear? So therefore, inshallah ta'ala, Allah will make things easy for you, even if you go through some hardship and some difficulty. If you're held up, then the flight will go smooth. If you miss your flight, the hotel will be good. No doubt about that. It's a reality. Those who travel, you know this. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in control at the end of the day. And if you're doing the right thing, you're trying to be pious and righteous, Allah will not forsake you. Even if you suffer a bit and you sacrifice a bit. So with that being said, I ask Allah to make it easy for you on one level or another. And if it's not the will of Allah to make things absolutely easy for you, then may Allah make you patient upon the difficulties of traveling and being harassed and stopped and searched and forced and so on and so forth. I mean, so can you take traveler's insurance? You've decided to make Hajj, even though you have many, many difficulties traveling. If you miss your flight, if you lose out on this, it'll be a huge, gigantic loss upon you. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, if that's factual, and if that's the case, arju an la yakun fihi haraj. I hope that it's permissible for you to do. Inshallah, I hope that. Whereas it's a need, borderline necessity. It's a need, borderline necessity. And it's easy for us to say, you can't do that. Oh, insurance is this, but that's not you being held up for 8 hours in the airport. That's not you missing a flight, having to buy a hotel, having to get a rental car. That's not you being in a strange land in which you don't speak. I'm stuck in Germany. I don't speak German. Everyone understand this? Well, how can that? It's a difficulty. It's easy for you, but it may not be what? Easy for him. Let alone the money. I don't have money for a hotel. There are no more flights to Saudi Arabia for 48 hours. Whatever the case may be. Allahu Alam. Allahu Alam. So, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, if there's a need / necessity, then I hope there's nothing wrong with that. Let alone the fact that all you brothers are sitting in front of me asking, how's he asking about traveler's insurance? Isn't insurance haram? But I'm sure each and every one of you have a driver's license and a registered vehicle with insurance. Or insurance on your iPhone or your iPad. You drop the phone on the ground, literally. You can do what? Bang. Then what can you do the next day or the same day? Do what, Abu Saeed? Get a what? Brand new phone. Everyone understand this? So we can't be hypocritical now. The brother, he asked me about buying a house on mortgage. It involves riba, so on and so on and so forth. We were in Brooklyn in the Yemeni Cafe. I said, is this building insured? Is this business insured right now? If those people walk in here and ask for your papers in this, whatever, is it insured? Yes or no? Are you paying insurance on this building? He said, of course. So I said, bring us more lamb and rice. Conversation about mortgages now what? Over. Not saying it's permissible to take mortgage, but the conversation is now what? It's over. So people, they oftentimes they become very selective when it comes to insurance. This is okay, but that's totally haram. Life insurance is haram. Home insurance is haram. Business insurance is haram. Car insurance is obligatory. Why is this? Do you have to have a car? Is it obligatory to have a car in New York City? The brother from Harlem, he said, I haven't had a car. I've never had a car, ever. My whole life living in Harlem, all on the train. It's a reality. So is having a car an obligation or is it a luxury? Everyone understand this? Do you have to have insurance in your car? Well, how can that? So the point is, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, insurance is a very long discussion. What's permissible from it and what's impermissible from insurance. Let alone if there's a need or a necessity, if there's a haraj, if there's a mashaqqa, then inshallah ta'ala, there's nothing wrong with that. And Allah knows best. Jazakallah khairan.
Initials OS from Columbia, Missouri. May Allah bless you, Sheikh. Can you mention some of the virtues of the Salaf?
Question says, can you mention some of the virtues of the Salaf? Please go back to the book that we've explained. Walillahi alhamd. This is one of the earliest books that we explained on the channel. Fadl ilm al-Salaf ala ilm al-Khalaf. The superiority of the pious predecessors' knowledge over the knowledge of the later generations. This is, we said, one of the what? It's one of the earliest books that we explained on HadithDisciple. So with regards to the question, you can go back to that book and many, many countless other videos from the thousands of videos in which we quote the Salaf for what? As-Salih. And their ilm, and their ibadah, and their fiqh, and their knowledge, and their virtue. Everyone clear on this or not? That's first and foremost. That's what? That's first and foremost for the questioner. As far as for other than the question, Allah knows best the intention of the questioner. Allahu alam. Baini wa bainak hadhihi al-qanat. Between me and you is this what? This channel. Between me and your claims and this and that is what? This channel. You go search those thousands of videos, and I'm sure, inshallah, perhaps you'll find a video about the Salaf, their ibadah, their fiqh, their virtue, and so on and so forth. What you claim, what you cut, what you pay, so on and so forth, tight. You're free to do that. But between me and you on the day of judgment, at least is what? Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Of what was said and what's not said. You figure it out. That book, how this was from 2012. We explained that book. It's 2019. That's 7 years ago. So alhamdulillah, we don't even want to come and say that you're saying that the Salaf were nobody and they're nothing, so on and so forth. Everyone understand? That's first and foremost. So the Salaf al-Salih radiallahu anhum, their virtue is well known. However, the last thing I want to say is do not confuse a person's virtue with something being a means of dalil. They're two different things. Someone's status does not mean that what they say and do is absolute what? No, not even correct. Just the what? Hujjah. That's first and foremost. Let alone correct or incorrect. Everyone understand this? Last but not least, the third thing is the Salaf as-Salih radiallahu anhum, where do they get their virtue from? The Kitab and the Sunnah. Everyone understand this? Wallahu alam. Mukhtar.
Does one have to pay rent on the amount of the house or the rent?
Rent or zakat?
Yeah, does one have to pay the on the rent?
Tight. They own the house, they lease it out. Question is with regards to paying zakat. Do you pay zakat on the money that you get from rent, or do you pay zakat on the property? Tight. Before we even go that far, is it even obligatory for a person to pay zakat on a house that he or she owns? That's khilaf among the ulama. Ad-dur al-mu'ajjara. All right? Houses that are leased out or rented out. Do you even have to pay zakat? So that's a yes and a no issue in itself. For those who say that you do pay zakat, what do you pay zakat on? The value of the house that you own or the zakat that you get? What's the difference between the two, or why the difference between the two? The money that you get from rent from your tenants is the money that you put in your where? Your pocket. And that money could be spent on your bills and expenses, or it could be saved and stacked yearly. So if you say that you have to pay zakat on the rent that you get every single month or every year, or however the agreement is between you and your tenants, that means that you're going to pay zakat on your yearly earnings. You're going to pay zakat on the actual money that you get from the tenant, and perhaps you have to pay zakat on the building. So that's 3 levels of zakat. Everyone understand this? So that's not necessarily the correct way. Everyone understand this? Either it's no zakat due, or a person says you pay zakat on the actual what? Building. And a person may take the view that you pay zakat on what you get monthly, even if it doesn't become yearly savings. Even if it doesn't become a what? A yearly savings. We've explained the rulings of zakat in detail on the channel. Wa alaikum salam many times. At the end of the day, the safest thing to do is to pay the zakat. That's the safest thing to do. And the safest way of paying the zakat is to pay zakat on the building. On the building that you actually own. And it is in your personal usage. But obviously we have another issue, and that is the concept of zakatul urud al-tijara. Is zakat due on merchandise? Is zakat due on commercial items, commercial commodities? Most of the ulama of Islam hold the view that it is. And some of the ulama of Islam say there's no proof to state that. That you have to pay zakat on the things that you own as commodities or as merchandise. The safest thing to do, to avoid any confusion or fear of sin, is to pay zakat on the property. If you have the ability to pay the zakat on the rent as well, that's safest as well. The safest thing to do. And what you free yourself from any responsibility. And Allah surely knows best. Khalas? Will we stop? No more questions? Jazakumullah khairan. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik.